What's good, everybody? Back here, another video on my channel, Jake Snipes. I hope everyone's having an awesome week so far. It just turned Thursday. It's 10 minutes past midnight. I'm up late making this video. I don't like doing them in the morning because I kind of feel like I rush them. So if I have to stay up a little bit later, then that's okay with me. I think I want to know the last 5 days we have gone 13-3, which is awesome. We've had a couple voids. So the numbers don't really match up. Usually I try to do 4 picks a day. But the last 5 days, we've done 13-3, which I think is awesome. Only 3 wrong picks in 5 days. Like I said, the data is there. We're just sniping them out. Just stick with me. We're going to go on a crazy heater. NBA playoffs is coming up. We got a small slate of games today. Like I said, I only wanted to pick from playoff teams. And there's only a couple games where there's actually playoff teams involved. There's a couple games going on like Pacers, Nets, Bulls, and Wizards. We didn't want to pick from those because you don't know what you're going to get. Knicks and Celtics going to be a really good game. The Knicks are going for the 2 seed. You got the Lakers and Warriors who are still fighting for playoff positioning. So there's still a couple things out there. Philly and Houston. There's not many baseball games on tomorrow. I think there's like 5 or 6 games. So a small slate for baseball as well. But here's some insights if you want to go ahead and take a look. Like I say in every video, you could pause it and look at some of these. Screenshot, do whatever you got to do and make something out of it out of your own. Just keep scrolling down here a little bit. Take a look at some of them. Sorry if I'm going a little bit too fast. But yeah, there's some baseball team insights. But other than that, we went 2-1 yesterday. We had a void. Darius Garland did not end up playing against the Thunder. He sat out, so that one was voided. Duncan Robinson smashed his over, which is what we needed. He got 20 points and like 3 rebounds, so he almost doubled what his line was. De'Aaron Fox. So Spurs played Portland, and Portland put up an awesome fight against the Spurs. Obviously, Wemby didn't play. But De'Aaron Fox had an excellent game, and it was a close game to the end of the fourth quarter. And De'Aaron Fox, we chose his under. He went over for points and assists. I think he finished with like 32. We needed under 27.5. So that one didn't hit. Cameron Johnson, 15.5 points and rebounds. That one hit for us. I think he finished with like 18 or 19 points. So he got it off his points alone. So we went 2-1 on the day, which like I said earlier, brings us to 13-3 over the last 5 days, which is an excellent hit rate. And we're only getting started here. I have 4 other picks that I really, really like for tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get right into them. With the first pick, we're going to take Jacoby Walter over 13.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Now, he's not a well-known name, but he is an excellent player. He's been in the starting lineup since Immanuel Quickley has been out, and he's done awesome. Immanuel Quickley did come back on Tuesday where they played Miami. And he still got the over, even with seeing a little bit less minutes because Quickley did come back. They play Miami again today, so back-to-back games against the Heat. You see the favorable matchup for points allowed, 22nd, almost last in the league for rebounds allowed, and almost favorable for assists allowed. So great matchup. This line is hit in 8 out of his last 10 games where he's averaging almost 17, which is awesome. If we go down here, Jacoby Walters exceeded 12.5 points, rebounds, and assists in 7 straight games versus bottom 10 defenses, which the Heat are, and he's averaging almost 20. Now, I don't expect him to get 20 because, like I said, Immanuel Quickley is back. But, I mean, Toronto still has a lot to play for. They're barely holding on to the 6th seed from Orlando. I'd imagine they don't want to go to the play-in. They want to lock in that 6th seed. So they still have a lot to play for while the season comes to an end. And a big part of their success has been Jacoby Walter. He's been an excellent fill-in for injuries. He could kind of do a little bit of everything. So I think this is going to be easy over. Like I said, he just got it against Miami 2 days ago, who they play again. So we're going to use this line for our first pick. Now for the second pick, we're going to stay within that same game. Now I'm not going to lie to you guys. I do not know how to say this guy's name. I apologize. No disrespect. I just can't pronounce that. But we're going to take his over 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And a lot like Jacoby Walter, he's been a huge part to their bench. I mean, if you look at his production, A lot of green. This line is hit in 19 of the last 10 games where he's averaging almost 22. And like I said, just a favorable matchup against Miami. And if you scroll down here, he's only averaging 23 minutes, but within that little bit of time, he has been super productive. He's shooting over 50% from the field and almost 50% from the three-point line. Those are just insane numbers, especially it's hard to get into rhythm without amount of minutes played. He has been awesome for him. It says here he has exceeded 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists in 9 straight games where he's almost averaging 23. So which is a great cushion from 16.5. 23 combined is awesome. So what you could say for Jacoby Walter, you could say for him, for Sandro. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. They're still, like I said, they're just still fighting for that 6th seed. They have a lot to play for still. I don't think they're going to go out and be lackadaisical and lay a dud. I think they're going to go out and try to luck up that 6th seed and avoid the play-in. So we're going to take this for our second pick. Now with the third pick, we're going to take Derek White under 19.5 points and assists. Now I really like this line. This is hit in 9 out of the last 10 games where he's only averaging 15 combined. And he's just been in a shooting slump this year. I don't want to say the whole year, but recently he has been. You see when he gets matched up against a good defense, he barely cracks double digits. Last game, he only had 12 points, 3 assists. The game before that, he only had 10 points, 6 assists. And they played the New York Knicks, who are ranked 5th in the league in points allowed and 6th in the league in assists allowed. Now, I think this is going to be an awesome game. If you remember, New York is a team that knocked Boston out of the playoffs last year. So I think they're going to come back for revenge. Boston, they're the 2nd seed right now. Knicks are the 3rd seed right now, but they could take the 2nd seed from Boston. So Boston really needs this game. So their seeding isn't set yet. If Boston wins, they will be locked to the 2nd seed. And I think they would love to do that against the Knicks. I just think it's a really tough matchup. They're both really good defensive team. And Derek White just has not been shooting great lately. See in the last 10 games, he's only shooting above 40% from the field and only 33% from the 3. So he's only hitting a third of his shots. So between the shooting slump and the matchup, I think this is going to be an easy under. I think it's going to be an awesome game. I can't wait to watch it. It's going to be a playoff-like atmosphere as the regular season comes to an end. So Derek White is going to be our third pick, under 19.5 points and assists. Now, before I share my last pick here with you guys today, I want to remind everybody to sign up for better using my promo code SNIPES. Using my promo code will give you 2 no-sweat entries up to $200 in bonus cash. So $100 a piece will give you 2 free swings at it. Either you win or you get all your money back. You don't lose in this situation. Take advantage of the offer. I'll have the link down below in the description. Sign up for better using my promo code SNIPES. Now, that being said, I'm going to share my last pick here with you guys today, where we are going to go with Jaylen Brown over 24.5 points. Sorry about that. So 25 points. This line is hit in 100% of his last 10 out of 10 games, where he's averaging almost 32. He has been on an absolute tear lately, even with Jason Tatum kind of getting 100% from his injury and getting his rhythm back. Jaylen Brown is still producing at a high level. Now, I know we said for Derek White's data, the Knicks are an awesome defensive team. You look here, they're ranked 5th in points allowed. But if you go to small forward, they're almost one of the worst. They're ranked 25th in points allowed. So if you're a small forward against the Knicks, your over is almost going to hit every time. If you look here, we have a lot of green check marks down here for guys that hit their over. Jalen Johnson, he missed it by 1. Zachary Richardson, he missed it by 2. But other than that, a lot of green all down here. If you're a small forward, your over is more likely to hit than not. And like I said earlier, I think the Boston Celtics, they just want to go out and send a message to New York who they want to get revenge on. If they beat the Knicks, they're locked into the 2 seed and lock them in at the 3. So, and I think they want to do it in Madison Square Garden. They want to put on a show. I think Jaylen Brown is going to be a man on a mission, and I think he's going to go for 30 plus. Now, I would like this line if it was higher, 25, 26 and a half. I think 24 and a half is a little low, especially with how good he's been playing. If you go down here, he's shooting almost 50%, which is good for his volume. Almost 40% from the 3, 36% is great for his volume of shooter. He's just in a groove right now, right before the playoffs hit. I think it's going to be a really good game, and that's going to be our last pick. Now, this looks like a 4-0 slate to me. I hope everybody has a great Thursday. We got the weekend coming up. I hope you get to relax with your family and friends. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.